Rams fans, welcome in on this edition of Rams Showcase. More roster moves, plus the Rams sit atop the NFC. We peek at the playoff picture, and later Rams headed to the East Coast. We preview Rams sad Panthers. Let's rock.
We here, man. We gotta take advantage of victory on one. Let's go.
This is Rams Showcase. And now your host, Sheriff Joe Baggs.
Yes, welcome to it, Rams Showcase. My name's Sheriff Joe Baggs. Shout out Summer Justice, bringing me in there on the intro. Socials in the description below. Make sure you follow along on all your favorite social media. That would be at Rams Showcase, at Sheriff Joe Baggs, ramshowcase.com. We got a big old football game going on this weekend, Thanksgiving weekend. Hopefully yours is going to be awesome. If you're watching this on Thanksgiving, hope it is going awesome. If you're watching this after Thanksgiving, I hope it did go awesome. All bases covered. Nailed it. But yes, Thanksgiving week, obviously we got a full slate of action on Thursday. We also got that Black Friday game. Eagles are playing someone, the Bears, and that'll happen, like I said, on Friday, which is going to be pretty sweet stuff. The real action Friday is A&M versus Texas, but whatever. That's going to be a sweet one. Gig 'em Aggies, man. So, before we head into our game preview, we, of course, need to talk about playoff picture stuff. But first, this is actually the first week in what feels like a while. The Rams have actually given us plenty of roster moves to discuss. So we'll go ahead and start with the one that happened last week. It was the one that we all kind of know about now. But it was released post-Rams Showcase recording. So Rams extending linebacker Nate Landman. Nathan going to be sticking around. 3-year extension worth $22.5 million. 15.6 of that is fully guaranteed. Landman sticking around for a few more years, and it doesn't even break the bank. In fact, he's on the lower end of pay as far as you look at inside linebackers, starters for the rest of the NFL. He's pretty low on that list, which is not a shot in any capacity. In fact, if anything, it says a lot more about him that he wanted to stick around, and also that he wasn't just going to just try to make as many millions as he possibly can. And I mean, obviously, a $22.5 million deal for us, that kind of feels like a really good deal. We've seen some mega contracts come out of this Rams front office over the years, but I think too, you look at his history of payments, and I mean, this is a huge pay bump from what he's been getting his entire career, coming into the NFL as a UDFA. So obviously, being able to sign an extension with the team, massive news there. So I'm happy for the Rams and Rams fans, because we get to see more Landman out there, dude, just out here just punching footballs and stuff, which is awesome. But I'm also absolutely thrilled for him. Very well deserved to get an extension somewhere, and it seems like he likes to be a member of the Rams, and we're happy to have him. So as long as that connection can happen, pumped about it. Absolutely. Nate Landman sticking around. So his career earnings so far, like I mentioned, $4.5 million. So to sign a $22 million deal, obviously super stoked for him and his family. That is life-changing money, no matter how you slice it. So very cool stuff, man. Comes in year one as a captain of a member, as the member of the Rams, and then also getting a green dot. That was my pick pretty early on. I think I said that in like April or something like that, that I thought he was going to potentially get the green dot, and he did. And I'm just stoked for him that he's doing a good job. I'm not trying to take any credit here or anything. But it also does allow this contract, like I said, it does also allow for some wiggle room with some other free agents. Just some names that kind of stuck out to me as I was looking at the list. This isn't the full list. This is not an extensive list, and this is also not a topic that we're really diving into right now because we're only going into week 13, but something just to kind of put on your radar, something to store away in the back storage units of your brain tank, and just kind of, we'll pull these out a little bit later, but something just to kind of keep it on your head is Rob Havenstein, Tutu Atwell, Tyler Higbee, Cam Curl, Jimmy Garoppolo, Akello Witherspoon, Troy Reeder, Quentin Lake. All those guys will have expiring contracts. We also have Xavier Smith, who's an exclusive rights free agent, so a little bit more freedom and wiggle room there with the Rams. But obviously, those are some big names, dude. Q Lake, also another captain of the Rams. He's on IR right now, but obviously such a talented player and definitely having his best season of his career. Akello Witherspoon, we'll be talking about him here shortly as well, so we'll see what the future for him holds. Jimmy G, I have so many questions on what do we want him back? I have no idea what the Rams front office wants to do there, but Havenstein and Higbee are two that I would say soak it in while we can. Those two just went onto IR. I'm really hoping that we just haven't seen them for the last time as members of the Rams because those guys are awesome. Tutu Atwell, obviously his 1-year deal, $10 million fully guaranteed this year that he's on. Not sure what the plan is there. So we'll dive into all that stuff when we need to, when it's, we're in line for a Super Bowl. We ain't talking off season yet, man. We trying to hoist trophies, not figure out 26 yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need to worry about that yet. Good stuff, though. Let's some other roster moves for you. So, to the active roster, the Rams have signed tight end Nick Vanetz. He's coming over from the practice squad of the Minnesota Vikings. So, thought that was really interesting. The Rams did sign their own practice squad tight end in Muse. That was a few weeks back. But Vanetz getting the call here. The Rams also designates wide receiver Tutu Atwell as well as cornerback Ahkello Witherspoon to return off of IR, meaning that they technically have 21 days now to be added to the active roster. But we have also gotten word that they're expected to play this weekend. So the Tutu train rolling through Carolina this weekend, absolutely awesome. And then Ahkello Witherspoon, dude, oh man, when this secondary is really turning on, we get Ahkello back, bro. Sorry about it, Panthers. That's terrible luck on your part. And then also added to the reserved/injured list, cornerback Roger McCreary, which actually brings me to my next bit of news. Things are moving and a shaking up in Seattle land as the Seahawks, they did waive former Rams corner Darion Kendrick. So he hit waivers. Nothing crazy, right? We're thinking, we moved on, right? Wrong, dude. Rams putting in a claim and successfully landing Darion Kendrick, DK, back as a member of the Los Angeles Rams. If you've been a listener here of Ram Showcase for years, you know I am a massive fan of DK. Did not want him to leave. Absolutely thrilled that he's back. Not sure if he's going to stick around being back, but I absolutely love that move to bring DK in. I mean, he's got 3 picks on the year already for Seattle, so playing good football. He was a little bit lower on the depth chart there. They did make some moves, some roster shakeups up in Seattle, and Darion Kendrick, odd man out, and back in LA. So congrats, Darion. Dude, that's so cool. Welcome back, man. I'm thrilled for him because now he's on the best team. That's pretty sick. You wake up on an okay team, and you wake up on and you go to sleep on an okay team, you wake up on the best team? DK, welcome back, dude. Fired up about it, man. I love Darion Kendrick. I'm really excited to see how his little stint away. This is like when your cat runs away from home and they come back with new skills, and you're like, what? Where'd you learn how to polish a gun? And you're like Darion Kendrick now, man. It's like, what? Where was this guy? So that's pretty cool stuff there. Let's take a look at the playoff picture as the Rams, your number 1 seed in the NFC, sitting with a 9-2 record this week, taking on the Carolina Panthers, who are just sitting on the outside. Philadelphia Eagles with an 8-3 record. They'll be taking on Chicago on Friday, who also has an 8-3 record and is currently in the 3 seed. So that is winner of that one going to be leaving Week 13 as the number 2 seed, as long as that's not Philly winning and the Rams losing to the Carolina Panthers. That would put the Rams back in 2 and Philly back in 1. But as long as we got more wins overall than the Philadelphia Eagles, then we are good to go. But they obviously have the head-to-head, that Week 3 loss that the Rams had against the Philadelphia Eagles in Philly. Definitely don't want to go back there in January. It's not too bad in September, but we know what happened last January. Tampa Bay in 4th place, 6-5. They are taking on the Arizona Cardinals this weekend. They would be taking on the Seattle Seahawks if the season were to end today. They are 8-3. This week taking on the Minnesota Vikings. That's a really solid matchup. Really interested to see how that game shakes out. Green Bay Packers would be playing the Bears right now in the playoffs, 7-3-1. They are at Detroit on Thanksgiving Day. So that is the first game of the Thanksgiving slate. And then right now, the Eagles would be hosting the San Francisco 49ers, 8-4 for the Niners, and this week they are at the Cleveland Browns. Detroit, Carolina, Dallas sitting just on the outside of that. I don't anticipate that any others would be, messing around and finding themselves into the actual playoffs when we get there. But as far as the teams on the outside, I think Detroit is certainly one to watch. I do think that they can overtake the San Francisco 49ers. Certainly can overtake the Packers. I'm very like iffy on the Packers right now. Seattle, I don't know what they're up to, but they can certainly win the division for sure. Chicago Bears, man, say what you want. That defense is playing absolutely incredible. They're like, I don't know, man. They're playing some really good football right now. That game's going to be probably like 9-3, and it's going to be awesome. I'm really excited about some Black Friday football, man. That's going to be cool. But again, Texas A&M, that's got to get that undefeated season, dude. I've never seen Texas A&M be this good, and that's awesome. I've been an A&M fan for probably longer I've been a Rams fan, honestly, and so that's just really cool for me. I'm having fun with that. So that is going to do it for your news and your playoff picture there. Main thing you got to know is that the Rams control their destiny right now. So as long as the Rams don't mess around and could just take care of their own business, then we're going to be looking fine. So that's good news there. Only 6 games to go, and we'll see what the Rams can push that record to. Maybe it's going to be 15-2, dude. I don't know. I would never know. I just watch the games every week. We'll see what happens. I'm sure we drop one, right? Like, at least one. I don't know. We'll see. We are just a damn good football team, though. Whatever happens from here on out in the regular season, like, the only thing I really care about is, like, I want to see Matthew Stafford continue to do it because I'd really love to see him get an MVP. Want to see just, the continued progress of a bunch of guys, Forbes and stuff like that. But overall, I mean, I'm a lot less worried now. Well, I was a lot less worried than a lot of people, especially early on. If you watch Tuna and the Sheriff every weekday, or not every weekday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 a.m. LA time, then you know that I was like leaving week 5, like, we're fine. You guys need to relax. Like, so I was one, but it happens. All right. Other than that, yeah, game preview as the Rams taking on the Carolina Panthers. Basically, Rams East, when we look at their rosters and coaching staff and stuff. Lots of former Rams to talk about with the Carolina Panthers. We'll get into that game preview, though. That's on the other side of this. It is Ram Showcase. Welcome back. This is Ram Showcase. My name's Sheriff Joe Baggs. The 9-2 Los Angeles Rams hitting the road, take on the 6-6 Carolina Panthers at Bank of America Stadium, 10 a.m. LA time kickoff. This game will be televised on Fox with Adam Amin, Drew Brees, and Christina Pink broadcasting from the sideline. Your distribution here, the Rams and Panthers are in the red zones this week. So actually pretty solid coverage for this week, being an early kickoff game going against a team that's sitting outside the playoffs. But in fairness, man, the Carolina Panthers are fighting for that division. So this actually is some pretty good business. As far as the weather goes for this one of few weather games, potential weather games for the Rams remaining on the schedule. High of 51 in Charlotte on Sunday, 25% chance of precipitation. That has been dropping as the week goes on, so we may be able to get out with a dry game. And moderate wind gusts, looking at maybe like 9 miles per hour at the peak, so nothing too crazy there. For you bettors, Rams are minus 10.5, minus 750 on the money line, and the over-under sitting at 45.5. Rams will be rocking the white jerseys for this game, and I'm flying solo, dude. I'm flying solo on Soul, man. Everybody else going royal for this one, but I'm going Soul, and I'll tell you why, man. I'll tell you why I'm going Soul. I won't keep you. I'll feed you, baby birds. Is that Panthers are in black jerseys, not the blues. If the Panthers were in blues, I don't know why I felt like we would match that, but in my brain, they wear the black jerseys for this one. Only the second time they've worn the black jerseys this season. The last time that they wore it, it was black on black earlier this year. Last year, they wore the black jerseys 4 times, and only 1 time didn't wear them with black pants, and that was the black on blue, which, sweet combo, let's be real. But that's the only... So in the last 5 times they've worn black jerseys, they've always matched... 4 times they matched them with black pants. So that's kind of my thought process here. I'm going, my brain's going back to week 1 where we saw the Houston Texans wear their dark blues on dark blue, and the Rams chose to go white on Soul for that. That's my entire thought process. So hop on in, the game's sweeping the nation. Your mom plays, you should too, man. Drop your pants picks below. Take a look at the history of this matchup. This will be the 24th all-time meeting between these two. The first ever happened on September 17th of 1995. That was a 31-10 win by the St. Louis Rams. Most recent game between these two came on October 16th of 2022. That was a 24-10 win by the Los Angeles Rams. Fourth matchup ever for the Carolina Panthers versus the Los Angeles Rams. And the Rams won the most recent two, but they did drop a game in November to the Panthers in 2016, which, whatever. I mean, 13-10, but that was, that was the Goff rookie season, first year back in LA. Jeff Fisher was still coach, so not a lot of good action to go on, but hey, good to go, man. Sean McVay hasn't lost to him, so it's a good start, dude. Good start. Only one playoff game between these two in their history. That was Rams-Panthers, January 10th of 2004. That was a divisional round game, 29-23. Game ended in overtime. Steve Smith throwing up the piece and hurt my feelings big time. So, kind of had emotions about Steve Smith the rest of his career. I think I'm pretty over it now, but like for every time I was like, Bulger also threw 3 picks that day, so not a lot of favors being done by our own boys there. But that was a damn good football team for the Rams. Losing to the Panthers definitely hurt. They did go on to play in the Super Bowl that year. Was that the right year? I'm pretty sure I'm right. Not going to fact check. I'm right. A lot of stuff that we're looking in this game, obviously, for the Carolina Panthers side of it. They're off that loss to the Niners. They did have a 3-game win streak earlier this year, but ever since then, they've kind of just seemed to float at about 500. They win one, they lose one. They win one, they lose one. So that's kind of where they're sitting last week. They did lose last week, so, I mean, trends would say they're going to win this game, but we'll see. Obviously, the Rams did help the Panthers last week by beating the Bucs on Sunday Night Football. The Panthers didn't do their job and help us, though, dude. We had a chance to scratch each other's backs, and Panthers are out here with a well-scratched back. Meanwhile, the Rams are out trying to hook their own horn to their back to try to get a good scratch going. We got to scratch our own backs now. Way to go, Carolina. Now we just got to beat you for ourselves. We're going to scratch our own backs against you, dude. Now what, Carolina? I don't know. That metaphor really fell apart on me. Good times. Panthers, though, easily, they would be in the lead of their division if they would have won on Monday Night Football against the 49ers. And that game was 20-9, but it didn't at any point feel remotely close. Carolina did not feel like they were ever going to kind of take over that game. But also, San Fran didn't play that well either. So I don't know, man. It's kind of a tough one to look at. But Panthers 6-6, Bucs are 6-5. So very much right now in that fight for the NFC South. But if they were to pull off a random November win against the NFC's current top team, I think that would go a good way, a long way in their confidence as they hit the stretch of the season. You know, if they won their final game in December at home against the NFC's best team, they would hit December, or last game in November, they would hit December with just, like, all systems go, dude. It'd be like when Butthead pushes Beavis out of that moving car and Beavis and Butthead Do America. Just sprinting, dude. As long as you hit the ground running, you're going to be okay. I guess he wasn't, but you get it. You get the idea. Yeah. Oh, Panthers also, by the way, 0-2 against NFC West teams so far this year. So they'll get the Seahawks still. They have lost to the Carolina Panthers. Or they lost to themselves. They lost to the Arizona Cardinals and the Niners last week. So then Rams this week, and then still a date with the Seahawks. The Rams, on the other side, now holding the top seed in the NFC all alone. Shout out Dallas. Appreciate you guys for that one. Plenty of action to go, though. Nothing is clinched. We could still miss the playoffs, technically. I would be surprised, but it could technically happen, all right? We could fall all the way to 9-8, dude. That's crazy to think about, huh? That's crazy. We could end almost 500 still if everything just goes really bad. Hopefully not. All right. So, like the Panthers, though, very much in a division battle. So, obviously, there's no rest for the wicked on this end as well. So, obviously, even being in the number 1 seed, you got 2 other of your division opponents sitting inside the playoff picture right now. So, there is no way, no chance to rest or pull back or take it easy or anything like that. We have nothing clinched yet. We have not earned anything right now. They don't give out trophies at the end of November, so we just got to keep on working. We're in a good spot, though. We positioned ourselves to be in a good spot when January, February football starts, but we gotta make sure we get there. All right. Strength of victory, though, could certainly come into play at some point, and if we have our division teams beating a team that we lost to, that can certainly hurt. Some milestones we're watching out for in this one. Sean McVay will officially have coached in more regular season games than any other coach in Rams history. When he coaches the Rams on Sunday against the Carolina Panthers, he currently already has coached in 3 more games, including playoffs. John Robinson, the late, great John Robinson, is being surpassed by Sean McVay in many milestones over these last few years. Matthew Stafford needs 154 passing yards to pass Matt Ryan for 8th most in NFL history. That is absolutely awesome. 154, probably hit that by halftime, feeling pretty good about it. 801 yards behind Phillip Rivers. He would need to average 133.5 passing yards per game the rest of the way to pass Rivers. He is 1,449 yards behind Big Ben Roethlisberger. He would need to average 241.5 yards per game to beat Roethlisberger this year. So it is extremely realistic that we'll see Matthew Stafford not only make it to 8th, but also 7th and maybe 6th. 5th is Aaron Rodgers, who does have the ability to still add to his numbers at least. So we were looking at that though, man. But if he's averaging 250 a game, we're gonna see him up in 6th place by the season's end, and that's absolutely awesome, man. Matthew Stafford doing some really, really good things this year. He is 3rd all time in passing in Rams history in passing touchdowns, 12th in interceptions thrown. I just thought that was a fun stat. And he has 30 passing touchdowns on the season right now. That would be tied for 6th most in Rams history if he just stopped throwing them. He needs 11 to tie the Rams' single season record, which would mean he would need to average 2 touchdown passes a game for the rest of the year to pass that, and he would end at 42, of course. That record, by the way, held by him and Kurt Warner at 41 passing touchdowns in a single season as a member of the Rams. Devontae Adams passed Jimmy Graham for most 1-yard touchdown receptions all time. That's absolutely awesome, which also kind of sidebars me into something real quick, which is the fact that everybody has talked about for years. I've heard this for years, that the 1-yard touchdown pass is one of the hardest things to do in the NFL. You have so little room. You've got 11 dudes on that side packing in an 11-yard area, 11 yards by 53 or whatever. So it's difficult. All right, the drop back, the fade route, stuff like that in the end zone, low percentages, so hard to do. But Stafford hits Devontae on 1 billion of them, and all of a sudden they're like, it's a 1-yard touchdown pass. It's not even that hard. What are you guys talking about? It's like, well, hold on. It's like, this is actually pretty crazy, and I think we need to give the respect where it's due. To nail it that many times in a row against really, really good corners who, you see Devontae catch the ball, and they just turn around like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do there. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, I don't know. So that's just my sidebar on that. It's the hardest play ever until the Rams start killing it, and then they're like, well, it's not even that hard. So it's fine. It's whatever. Get out of here with all that. Devontae Adams needs 19 receptions to tie Isaac Bruce in NFL history. He's creeping up that list for sure. Isaac Bruce did get passed by Keenan Allen just a few weeks ago. He needs 246 receiving yards to tie Art Monk for 25th most in NFL history, which is rather cool. We're about to see a top 25 all-time receiver. Touchdowns, different story, man. 1 touchdown reception behind Antonio Gates for 7th most in NFL history. Absolutely love that. And now has 1 less career touchdown as a Ram than Puka Nacua. I just thought that was cool. Devontae Adams, year 1 as a member of the Rams. Puka Nacua, year 3. And Puka has 1 more receiving touchdown than Devontae Adams. So we're creeping up there, man. That may create some fun trash talk there in the locker rooms. Kyren Williams needs 30 rushing yards to pass Les Josephson for 8th most in Rams history. That's rather exciting. Also needs 116 rushing yards to pass Dan Towler for 7th most in Rams history. So a really good day out of Kyren Williams. He can absolutely climb up those lists, which we absolutely love to see. Puka Nacua needs 169 receiving yards to pass Harold Jackson for 15th most in Rams history. He's also climbing up those lists. Obviously, he's still so young. Year 3 rookie contract, so to be already looking at top 15 in Rams history, I think that's absolutely awesome. Nothing bad to say about Puka Nacua, legitimately. Like, I don't even know if there's anything you can say bad about Puka Nacua. I think the only thing you could pull off is try to, from the opponent's perspective of like, God, I hate that Puka Nacua, man. He's getting wrecked all day, man. So, some former Rams who are now members of the Carolina Panthers. This list is decent. So we've got Super Bowl champion Austin Corbett. He's a backup left guard. Super Bowl champion Ashawn Robinson, starting defensive tackle. Super Bowl champion Bobby Brown III, first year over with the Carolina Panthers. Super Bowl champion Christian Roseboom, inside linebacker. I've heard really positive things from Panthers fans. They are really liking him. He's flying around out there. Also, Super Bowl champion safety Nick Scott, also getting it done. Brick Scott, man. One of my favorite plays in Rams history is Nick Scott just blasting Deebo Samuel in the middle. Oh, man. Brings a smile to my face, dude. Really. It really does. Also, as far as the coaches go, defensive coordinator of the Carolina Panthers, Evero, is the DC of the Carolina Panthers. Spent plenty of time with the Rams, was with the Broncos, I believe, after that, and then after his stint in Denver, in my neck of the woods, then he went over to Carolina. Also, former Rams player, linebacker, Darren Bates. He is the special teams assistant of the Panthers. He played with the Rams for 3 years to start his career, and he was the one, I don't remember, I'm trying to remember the team that he did it to. I want to say it was Washington, but that might be wrong. Where he did the thing where he jumps over the line, he timed the snap on a field goal and jumped the line and blocked the kick. And I remember watching that. Kelly O'Brien's Colorado Springs. I was out there watching the game at my local sports bar, and I was just like, I was losing my mind. I was like, dang, dude, Darren Bates, man, crazy. And then and then it was like 2 weeks later, Cam Chancellor did it with the Seahawks there, but all the media was like, did you see this play? And it was like, yeah, we just did that. What are you talking about? Bummed me out, but Darren Bates didn't get his proper credit for that, but obviously he's still coaching, which is good news, dude. He's still in the league. Gotta love that, man. Gotta love that. Let's take a peek at the matchup here. We're going to start with the Rams offense going against that Panthers defense. Rams on offense rocking with a top 10 unit, about 367 a game. The Panthers defense sitting pretty middle of the road, 336.5 is what they're giving up. Passing the football, top 5 unit for the Rams, 248.5 a game. And again, middle of the road for the Panthers defense, 211 about giving up through the air. Rushing the football, this is where the Rams don't necessarily try as hard as other teams. 110 a game, that's 22nd in the league. As the Panthers are giving up 116 a game, that's 19. Average points being put up a little under 28 for the Rams. That's 6th in the NFL, and about 22.5 given up by the Carolina Panthers. That's sitting close to the middle of the road. And third down conversion, Rams middle of the road here, almost 40%, a little under that. But the Panthers staying near, they're down near the bottom of this list here, 30th in the league, giving up over 44% of their third down conversion. So obviously the Rams have the ability to attack this defense. There's no stats from anything that I was looking through for the Carolina Panthers defense that really jumps out to me. When you look at like quarterback pressures, quarterback hits, passes defended, anything like that, nothing sticks out. They play fine, but that's about what you get from the Carolina Panthers defense. Not a ton of big-time playmakers, but they do have some really, really talented players. So I would kind of tend to steer towards coaching, but I would never, ever down my dude Evero over here. So I think that overall, it's just one of those things where they are headed in the right direction. They are getting there. They just need a little bit more time to get everything done. They just need to really solidify some position groups. They need some weapons on offense. I like their running game. Obviously, you could use a little bit of help on the offensive line. Defense has a lot of playmakers, though. I think that they're doing fine there. I'm not sure if you're one of those people that thinks that they should move on from Bryce Young or not. I think personally, I like Bryce Young a lot. I would really like Bryce Young as like a backup quarterback. But if they want to roll with him as a number one, I think that that's fine. I just do think that you can improve at that spot. So that's kind of where I think that they overall, kind of where I feel the Panthers are at. But again, on the defensive side, which is where we're focusing right now, they do have players. They have some really solid players on the defensive side. Have dealt with injuries, that's for sure. But our opposing players to watch, three names here from the Carolina Panthers that I'm kind of keeping my eyes on. I'm going to start with Nick Scorton. That's a homer pick for sure. Is a Texas A&M rookie out of this year. But, I mean, rookie coming in, he's a solid pass rusher. He's doing a good job. He is tied for most sacks on the team with 3. He's also second on the team in quarterback hits. He's getting after it, man, for sure. So just doesn't take as many reps. You know what I mean? Like, he gets rotated and stuff. So, but they also have other pass rushers. Next person to highlight here is going to be J.C. Horn. 5 picks on the year, 6 passes knocked down. He's an incredible cover corner. He's really sticky in his coverage. I imagine that we'll see J.C. Horn on Davante Adams for the large majority of this game. I will assume that we'll see some reps where that's not the case, but I think for the large majority, we're going to see Davante Adams being covered by J.C. Horn, and that's a good matchup. I think that Davante Adams, obviously, the way that he's been playing, the way that he's been running routes, the way that his connection with Stafford is really starting to blossom. I think that that's good news. Bad news for J.C. Horn, but obviously that's another good test is kind of how I see it for the Rams. Like I mentioned it earlier that like I'm not necessarily as stressed out or anything like that. It's like we're going to make it to the playoffs, all right? Get to the prom, and that's where you close the deal. You don't close the deal before. Okay. You don't close the deal before you even have a prom date. You got to get an invite, and then you can do that. So let's close that deal. Let's get there. But overall, I just want to see another good test here for Davante Adams going against another really good corner and just kind of see that continue to develop. We're going to see some really, really good football teams who get really creative in the playoffs. So I'm kind of curious to see those kind of matchups as we go on. And I'm going to end here also with Derek Brown, defensive lineman, awesome interior defensive lineman. He does lead the team in quarterback hits. He can get a quarterback off his spot for sure. With Stafford being a little bit less mobile than most, I think that Derek Brown is actually like a little bit of a wild card of somebody who can wreck this game a little bit, or at least dramatically shift the way that the Rams need to run this game plan on offense. If he's messing up the timing of the pocket or blowing up a lot of runs, something like that. But very talented player. He's been doing it for a really long time. So Derek Brown's certainly a player to keep our eyes on. As I'm looking at the best matchup here, best one-on-one, I am definitely looking at Davante Adams versus J.C. Horn. I know it's it feels like an easy one. Maybe it's not, but it makes the most sense to me is like, watch out for this. This is a really good matchup here. So Horn, like I said, very, very good cover corner. Adams is running some absolutely wild routes this year, so I think that they each will win some reps, but I think that Davante can come out on top, but again, just really excited to watch this. It's a really good wide receiver against a really good corner, and when that's the case, the fans win because that's entertaining. You know what I mean? So good times. Let's look at the 3 to see for the Rams offensive side here. We're going to start with Matthew Stafford, currently on what can only be considered an unbelievable run. He's doing some things that we've barely ever seen in the NFL. 27 touchdown passes since his last interception. That's only happened one other time in the NFL. That was done by Tom Brady. I don't know if you've heard of him. He was all right. But Matthew Stafford, obviously 27 touchdowns to no interceptions in that stretch. His most recent interception, our opening drive against the Philadelphia Eagles in Week 3, where he threw it right to the numbers of Zach Bond. So probably shouldn't have even been one anyway. Either way, you can't take it back. It did happen, but the way that Matthew Stafford's playing, I mean, he is the front runner for MVP right now, rightfully so. That makes perfect sense. I know Tuna keeps on getting into his thoughts of like, oh man, but this person on Twitter said this, and the voters will see that, and I don't think that that's real. I'll be honest. I don't really have the heart to say to his face. I don't think any of that's real. I think that if you are able to be swayed by randos on Twitter, you shouldn't be voting for the MVP anyway. And I don't know if that's real legit that anybody could like be swayed by just social media. I'm sure they see it. I'm sure they acknowledge what the fans are saying. But honestly, I mean, if you vote for anybody that's not Matthew Stafford for MVP so far, and I will say there's still 6 games to play. Some have less because some teams have another buys, but 6 games to play. If today it's not Matthew Stafford, then I've got so many follow-up questions. I got questions on what are you seeing and why. Because at that point, it just doesn't make sense. And also, there's 50 voters, I believe, that vote on MVP. I do feel good that we'll be able to see Matthew Stafford be honored the way he's supposed to, which is with an MVP, because he's on fire, dude. 30 touchdown passes to 2 interceptions on the season. That's absolutely unbelievable. Matthew Stafford is playing this year better than he's ever played. And it started like a little bit like fine. Like it was like, all right, yeah. Well, it was like, well, his back was hurting and stuff like that in training camp, so he's all right. Now he's just absolutely killing everybody. I don't know what was in that immortal chamber, but I want one. I'm 34, dude. I could use an immortal chamber around these parts, man. I need to feel better, man. But yeah, great chance to keep it up against a defense that can get got through the air. So fully expect it. Next up, we're going to go with tight end Colby Parkinson. Clearly more of the top guy now that Higbee is down, but Allen and Fergal still get their touches. But Parkinson, he's still certainly, he's the top guy. He is the one that's getting our attention right now. He's the one that's getting the reps. He's the one that's getting those, the first, I don't even know if I say it, the first look from Stafford, because he's not even looking at you, dude. He's just throwing it to you. He's just throwing it to where you're supposed to be. And if you're not there, that's your problem. You know, kind of what it feels like sometimes. It's awesome. And then last year, we'll go with Devontae Adams, but also this is kind of Puka Nacua too. Because Puka Nacua, 9th in the league in targets. Devontae, 12th in the league in targets. So that's certainly evened out quite a bit for them both to be top 12 in targets in the entire NFL. Obviously, you want to see that. You love to see it. You need to see it because these are two of the best wide receivers in the NFL. If we're not giving them their targets, then we got to really take a look in the mirror. You know what I mean? So I love that we are, but Devontae and Stafford right now are really starting to feel like they're getting into their rhythm, and I'm not even sure if it's perfected yet because there still seems to be a play or two every game where Stafford or like Devontae will make a cut and the ball goes over here, and they kind of show Devontae, and it's like, and then just like Stafford just kind of like looks up to him and is like, yeah, I got it. Like, I see what you're doing there. You know, like it's one of those. So Devontae Adams, Matthew Stafford, that connection's really, really glowing right now, and love to see that. Hopefully that continues. But Puka Nacua is, I mean, just always in this list because he's unbelievable. The things this guy does is absolutely crazy. And then his personality on top of it. Like, he's losing his stuff out here, man. He's going crazy. He's breaking ankles and embarrassing dudes who have families on the football field. And then he's off the field and he's just like this goofball. I love it, man. I'm a big fan. Big fan. We're all big fans of Puka Nacua. This is a pro Puka Nacua show. I don't know if you knew that. Keys to success, though, here on the Rams offense going against that Panthers defense. I'm going to say that Stafford and the Rams offense just really, they just can't hit a random sluggish day. You know what I mean? Like, this feels like one of those games that could always potentially be one of those that just kind of like, you're like, we're just not on today, you know? I wouldn't be surprised if we see a game that kind of unfolds like how the game against the Ravens did, 17-3 win for the Rams before the London trip earlier in the season. I don't think that that's impossible, but just really not having a totally sluggish day where you're getting 3 and outs and stuff like that, that's going to put yourself in just a weird spot. But this doesn't need to be like a 45-point explosion, but it's also a team that's fighting for the playoffs, and don't let them get you, you know? Like, we see 6-6, we see it there outside of the playoff picture and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, but they could win this weekend and the Bucs lose, and they're just in the lead of the division. They're the 4 seed all of a sudden. So let's just not let a team who clearly wants to win a football game, let's not let them do it to us. You know what I mean? So just maintaining that control and just moving that football down the field. The Rams didn't do a great job in time of possession last week, but they have slipped in the time of possession department. Last week, it's hard to really take that stat too serious, considering the fact that the Rams were short fields, scoring quick, and then second half was kind of just like the Bucs were really trying to get stuff rolling with Teddy Two Gloves. Teddy throws a Velt. That's the coolest nickname of all time, by the way. That's not me. As I heard that somewhere. I think I was on That's Good Sports, actually, when Bridgewater was with Denver. I think I watched it there. Yeah. So either way, but yeah, obviously, I mean, the time of possession last week, hard to look at, hard to take serious, but it's also something that you'd want to be able to do, man. You'd want to be able to control that ball and keep it for as long as you can, especially in a game like this where you should win, you can win. Just go out and do it. Just handle your business and go win this football game. But in order for the Rams to do that, to keep the pressure onto the Panthers and just limit their snaps, I mean, just. My true key to success for the Rams offense is just keep up the good work, boys. Like, keep it up. Key to success is just keep going. You're being successful. Just keep doing what you're doing, dude. 10 out of 10. No notes, man. No notes. Just keep on doing those things. First downs and touchdowns. Y'all got it. Let's go to the other side of the football here. This is the Rams defense going against that Panthers offense. Panthers on offense, not super great on moving the football here. 22nd in the league, 324 a game. Rams have a top 10 defense, giving up a little over 330 a game total. Passing the football near the bottom here for the Panthers offense, 185 a game, while the Rams give up 208.5. That's 13th in the league. Rushing the football, tied for 13th unit for the Panthers offense, putting up about 122 a game. The Rams give up almost 103 a game. That's 13th in the league. Average points being put up, 18 for the Panthers offense at 28th. And the Rams, number one scoring defense now, 16.2 points per game given up. That is absolutely incredible. Third down conversion rate, Rams sitting real good here. Fourth in the league, giving up a little over 35%. And the Panthers only convert a little under 36%. That's 26th in the league. So obviously, the numbers that jump out there, it has been the scoring and third down compared to the total yards. Last week definitely helped a bunch of averages. The Rams did an absolutely great job against that Bucs offense. Baker Mayfield, Teddy Roosevelt, and obviously they didn't get their whole weaponry back, but Godwin was back. Obviously, I anticipated that he'd kind of slowly get worked in there. So obviously he didn't have a big explosion or anything like that. But overall, Rams defense played unbelievable. Getting after the quarterback, just kind of slowing everything, dude. Like, absolutely crazy. This secondary is crazy. This pass rush is crazy. Our linebackers are crazy. Like, there's really not any parts of this entire roster where I'm like, well, if we don't address this, though, I don't know. It's like we did see that in the 2021 season, the Super Bowl year, where we're about this time of year, and it's like, yeah, and also this time of year, exactly. It was like, we lost 4 games straight. It was like, okay, hold on, guy, or 3, I think. And it's like, okay, everybody relax. Everything's fine. That's what I was doing, at least. But it did feel that way of like, we could still add some talent. And this year, for this team, it's like, well, where would we put it? Where would we put any more talent? You know what I mean? Like, we're killing it in all phases, even in the areas where we have been hurt. Right tackle, McClendon's a brick wall. Safety, Cam Kinchens is insane and hates the Seattle Seahawks out of nowhere. Cam Curl tackles everybody. Our secondary in general, Forbes is one of the best corners in the league out of nowhere. Tight end, Tyler Higbee goes to IR. Well, we got 4 other Tyler Higbees right here, so just use them. Like, everywhere we've lost people, we've been able to fill it in just fine, if not better, than in some cases. Like, I would say that McClendon, the way he's been playing, is a little bit better than we've seen some games from Havenstein this year. I love Havenstein. I would not want to bench him. My pick is if he's healthy, you play him. But if they choose not to, it makes perfect sense because McClendon is playing really, really good football right now. So sometimes in some of these cases, we have been better. Scoring defense for the Rams being top 10 or top 1. They are the top team. But obviously they've been sitting right there for so long, like giving up an average of like 17.2 when number 1 Houston was giving up 17. But last week Houston gave up 19, the Rams only gave up 7, so our averages shifted there, and the Rams took the lead there. Third down as well. Those are the numbers that are really jumping out. You can move the football on first and second down on your side of the field. If you want to get a 10-yard run on first and 10 from the 25, have at it, dude. Go ahead. You want to hit a 15-yard pass on second and 7 from your own 40? All right. But that's it. You know what I mean? We're pushing your brake. We're the driving instructor in the passenger seat. We'll hit those brakes for you. You ain't got to worry about it. All right. we got you. All right. But the Rams will let you get to midfield. But that's like where we cut it off, which is good news. But those are the numbers that are really jumping out to me. Some players that we're watching on that Panthers side. We're going to start with quarterback Bryce Young. Honestly, a really decent quarterback. He gets no help from his team or his front office. I think that their attention is more on the defense right now with a lot of their additions. Christian Roseboom, Bobby Brown, stuff like that. Lots of attention being given to that defense. But on the offensive side, they have dealt with some injuries there. I like their running backs kind of a lot, actually. But wide receivers, Ted McMillan seems to be it. I think they've got other talented guys, though, but that kind of seems to be just where they're going right now. But Bryce Young, I think he's a really good quarterback. I kind of mentioned it before. I think he's really good. I would love him as a QB2. Like, if this is the guy you need to come in when your top guy is down, Love that. That's absolutely incredible. As your top guy, I feel good about it. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, kind of similar to how I would say Jimmy Garoppolo right now. Him on the Rams bench being QB2, love that. That's awesome. He's played in the Super Bowl. Like he's got plenty of experience. Fine quarterback, good to go. Stafford's clearly a lot better, so obviously Stafford. But if we were going into the season and Jimmy is like our guy, I'd be like, all right, we're okay. We need help. Like we need to make sure we're doing our stuff. Because Stafford's a guy who'll win football games for you. Jimmy Garoppolo in every 49ers quarterback ever, pretty much, needs help around him. They've needed the offense. They've needed the playmakers. They've needed a run game. Matthew Stafford can win football games with, feels like, me out there, which probably not actually, but either way, you get the point. But Bryce Young, I think he's a really good player. He certainly can put some drives together. He's mobile enough to give you a long day if you aren't ready for that kind of stuff. So, yeah, we'll see how the Rams defense chooses to attack Bryce Young. Next up here, I'm gonna go with Rico Dowdle, and technically RB2 here, but shouldn't be. He's playing extremely well. Hubbard on the roster. We've seen Dowdle kind of get his carries kind of stolen from him, but Dowdle's been playing unreal. I think he got 6 carries last week. It was can't do that with a guy who's been playing that hot. So we talked about that on Tuna and the Sheriff. Tuna had mentioned he's like, yeah, but if Kyron goes out and Blake's killing it, then when Kyron comes back, he's still gonna get those reps back. And it's like, yeah, he's gonna get some of them, but we'll probably ease him back in. And also, if Blake is on fire, just crushing everybody's soul, line up the souls, man. Like, line the souls up. Let's watch him get crushed. It's pretty cool. So. Yeah, Dowdle though. I mean, I think he's playing great. I think his carries dropped, but way too far. So I don't love that game plan from the Panthers. And then last up here, we'll go with wide receiver Tet McMillan as Forbes. Or excuse me, I went way too far down. Easily the top target for Young and that Panthers offense. No question about it. He leads by a dramatic margin in receptions, targets, first downs, yards, all that stuff. He is the clear-cut top guy there. So really good wide receiver. He can certainly make space. He can make catches in traffic. He can move the chains. So it's a really good matchup there. Unfortunate for him, my best one-on-one is Forbes versus McMillan, dude. Forbes is he's playing like one of the better cornerbacks in the league right now. Absolutely. I argue with somebody else about it because I'm not going to hear it. Forbes is absolutely playing like one of the top corners in the league. Show me anybody who's playing better. I mean, I'm sure there's guys who are playing similar to Forbes right now, but the way that Forbes came in was like a starter, not a starter. We're all rotating 4 dudes, like it's like we'll see. We'll take matchups every week, whatever. But now Forbes on number 1. Forbes on their top guy. Everybody else can filter it out. I mean, we can figure it out. We flesh it out after that. Like after Forbes takes away number 1. So Forbes on McMillan makes the most sense. McMillan, clear-cut top guy, like I had mentioned. But Forbes is turning into just one of the best in the NFL. So, and they don't really go to other people. So, they do have other wide receivers, but they'll almost force it to McMillan, man. And I mean, fair. He's good. So, but either way, if Forbes can remove Tet from the game, I feel like we're looking pretty dang good, man. Pretty dang good. And that brings me to our 3 to C for the Rams defensive side. We're going to start with Emmanuel Forbes, and that's mainly it. I just want to kind of hammer that a little bit more. He's playing unbelievable. Emmanuel Forbes is out of his mind right now. Absolutely love to watch this. This is so cool. We kind of got the hints from it all summer from Sean McVay. He was talking up Forbes in training camp, preseason, all that stuff, and he's like, no, Forbes is a good player, and everybody's kind of like, okay, we'll see, No, he's on fire right now. Like, and this is another reason why my brain is like, when we're in like week 5, we're coming off that loss to the Niners. We hadn't had an NFC win at the time. We're 3-2. It's like, okay, we're trying to just power through this. Okay. Then I'm still like, no, we're all right. It's like Forbes still isn't into his own. Stafford's still trying to find a rhythm. Devontae hasn't gotten that connection with Stafford yet. It's like, we still got some newbies on defense. Nate Landman's really, wiggling into his own. Puna Ford and stuff like that. I was like, nah, I feel good. Like, I feel all right. Like, we haven't really pulled out all the offensive stops yet. And then, week 7 happens. We go to London and pull out 13 personnel, and everything's changed ever since then. So But yeah, that's the Forbes is another one of those reasons where it was like, well, let's see what he's got. You know what I mean? Because like these games still matter. These games still they count more, I would say. But like if you want to get mad at what we look like in September and early October, cool, that's fine. I'm gonna always try to be the voice of reason to let you know, hey, come November though. Well, what if we're super sick in November? You still gonna be mad that we lost in week 3? Maybe a little bit. Yeah, that's an unfortunate loss, actually. It could mess up some seeding for us for sure. But the way this Rams team is playing, give me anybody, dude. Give me anybody right now. Next up here, we're gonna go with Omar Spates as Omar, dude. I think all the attention right now is going to Nate, and rightfully so. He's killing it right now. He's our captain. He's our green dot. He just got extended. Love everything that Nate Landman's bringing to the table here. But Omar Spates is just as good. He's killing it, dude. He's in on most tackles. He seems to be right there at the end. You can see a 48 jogging away from the huddle. Yeah, nothing bad to say about Omar Spates. He's flying around. He hits people. He doesn't miss tackles. He's reading plays well. He covers well. I mean, dude, yes, Nate Landman is absolutely incredible. We all love Nate. Mustaches rule. But Omar Spates, man, I just don't think we can forget about him. He's absolutely killing it. And last year on my 3 to see for the Rams defensive side, I'm going to go with Cameron Curl. Dude, Cam Curl is so dope, and he is absolutely a tackling machine. He had some plays this last week against Tampa Bay where it was like, God, dude, that's crazy, man. I was watching with a Bucs fan, my friend Jesse, and watching him is like, dude, Cam Curl tackles everybody. And then it was like that moment he made like a crazy tackle on somebody, like flew up out of nowhere. Safeties are flying around. Cam Curl all over the place, great in coverage, insane tackler right now. He's reading the ball well, reading the plays well. Cam Curl for president. Keys to success on the defensive side here. I'm just going to say get off the field. Get off the field. Give your attention, give your offense the attention that they need to run their offense and give them the football back. Just give it to them as much as possible. Say, hey, you're here, Matthew. You take this instead. And also just don't let a team beat you that shouldn't. Don't let them stick around. This is a team that is good. They're not as bad as people think that they are. 6-6 sitting outside of the playoff race, but they are a team that can win. And in fact, I think this game will be a little bit closer than a lot of people anticipate, but mainly just because I think that Panthers are just not getting the credit that they, I don't know, I don't want to say if they deserve, because they are not like high up on like rankings and stuff like that. They're playing fine, but they've been beating like okay teams and stuff. So I just do think that this team, especially with the amount of former Rams too, you don't think they want to show up for this one big time, dude? Obviously they do. So, and then obviously stop the run. You stop the run. You stop the run and put Forbes on Tet, and you take those two things away. And at that point, I'm not sure how many points the Carolina Panthers can score. So there's that. That is your game preview. Rams taking on the Carolina Panthers at Bank of America Stadium, 10 a.m. LA time kickoff on Fox. Make sure you check out your local listings if you are not in the area, but there's plenty of ways to watch the game, so make sure you go catch it, dude. This Rams team is doing some pretty special things this year to catch all these games. Obviously, awesome to just see this team in action this year, because I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here, but this one could be ending pretty sweet. So, I mean, the way this season's going, man, this one could end pretty fun. So that's good news there. Tomorrow morning, on Thanksgiving morning, we'll be doing Tuna and the Sheriff, our game preview there, as we'll accept a Black Friday long weekend. And so make sure you check us out there. Ram Showcase is out every Wednesday. Make sure you check that. We'll do our pregame live stream ahead of kickoff on Sunday as well. That's on the Ram Showcase Facebook page, as well as the Ram Showcase YouTube channel. So check us out there. But Sunday, 10 o'clock a.m., Fox, the Carolina Panthers hosting our Los Angeles Rams. Adam Amin and Drew Brees on the call. Going to be some fun action. Hoping to get to win number 10. Let's get it. Fan Quesos, that's on the other side of this break. It is Ram Showcase. Welcome back in, Ram Showcase. My name's Sheriff Joe Baggs. We're going to get into our Fan Quesos here. Before I fully dive in, though, did want to mention this little bit of news that happened while I was recording the first portion of this, or the game preview, which is that former Rams running back Marshall Faulk has actually been hired as the head coach at the HBCU Southern University. It is a 3-year deal. It does have an option, but that's all it says is with an option. So Thanks for the vagueness, Jordan Schultz. Pretty sweet. That means nothing to me, dude. With an option. It's got it's the option. He can also request Skittles at any time. That doesn't tell me anything, Jordan. Whatever. I hate when people report like that. Anyway, that's cool though, man. Marshall, head coach Marshall that's absolutely incredible, man. Good stuff there. He did spend the last 3 seasons as the running backs coach for Colorado under Dion up there. So good stuff there. Boulder is probably, I know somebody's thinking about it right now. Boulder is probably roughly about 2 hours north of me right now. So nothing too crazy, but it's not really like a home team of mine. Mine is Air Force. They're like 10 minutes up the road. So also Colorado College. They don't have football though. They do hockey. They're really good at it. All right, let's see here. Let's head over to the Facebook page. This first one here is going to come from Warren. Why is Torrey Holt still waiting to get into the Hall of Fame? I wish I had this answer, man. I would say, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, why is he still waiting? Truly don't know. I felt like he would have been in by now. I got my Hall of Fame hat sitting right here. I got that one at the store in Canton. But, yeah, it's so funny. It's funny, like, random employees while I was at the Hall of Fame was like, who do I talk to get Torrey Holt in? Every time they're just like, dude, I don't know. It was funny though. Pretty cool though. Yeah. Torrey Holt will get in. Just a matter of time, man. I just hope it happens soon. I also think there's also a little piece of me that's like, I almost hope it has to wait just so that we get Byron Young, shout out. Just so we get an Aaron Donald and Torrey Holt class, which would be crazy. I'd be so fired up for that one. That's for sure a trip out to Canton. Because I'm already trying to find an excuse to go back. And if Torrey and Aaron are getting in at the same time, so am I, dude. This one here from Paulo. Which Rams players will star in the Hallmark Christmas movie? That's a hard question. I would say it's a hard question because I don't really understand the vibe of a Hallmark movie. I've never seen one. I'm a single, childless dude at 34. I'm not just kicking back, popping on Hallmark Channel. So I don't really understand the vibe of a Hallmark movie. But feels a lot like it's Kobe Turner, doesn't it? I mean, I don't know why that feels so accurate. Let's see, where am I at here? Where'd my quesos go? I lost my quesos. There we go. Don't want to lose your quesos. Not on this holiday. Next few here coming from Edwin. Emphasis on the win. Happy Thanksgiving, brother. Hey, back at you, dude. Hope everybody's good to go. Having an awesome holiday season, man. Yeah, good stuff. Says, God, that game was amazing. Straight up. A little bit boring. I'll be honest. I don't love blowouts. I'm not a blowout fan. They're fun every once in a while, but like we've kind of been doing it a little bit, you know what I mean? Obviously that Seattle game was close, but yeah, I'm not the biggest blowout fan because I hate by like the time there's like 5 minutes left in the game, you're like not even paying attention anymore. I don't like that. I like to be in, man. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Number 1, what are you most thankful for this Thanksgiving? Good question. I wasn't ready for that one. Dude, my eyes open today, man. As long as that's happening, man, everything else seems like a waste to complain about. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would say that's my biggest thing, man. My eyes open this morning. I can still move around. I still have a job. I've got a roof. I've got water on tap, dude. My awesome cat, Carl, that I just celebrated 10 years. This last Monday was the 10-year anniversary of bringing that guy home, which is so cool. So crazy to think about, man. I'm thankful to still be doing this show, season 10. That's crazy. Yeah, I think that all kind of goes back to my eyes open this morning, man. Anything else feels ridiculous to complain about. As long as I'm still breathing, I don't need help for that. I can still, live my life normal. I mean, I can still see, I can still hear, I can still taste. I mean, the way I feel about like music and sports and stuff like that, it's like, I mean, those vision and sight, pretty important to me and stuff like that. So I would say there's too many things to list off here, man. But yeah, number 1, man, my eyes open this morning. That means I'm doing okay, I would say. Number 2, who in your opinion has had the biggest impact to our team this year? Ooh. It's got to be Matthew, right? I mean, Devontae is one of those additions where, I mean, the Rams couldn't score in the red zone, dude. Like, we were one of the worst teams in the red zone last year. Now, 1-yard plays all day, dude. All day. It's so funny, too. I was, like, watching that game with my buddies this last weekend, and my friend Jim, I went to high school with these guys, he was they called the play at the 1-yard line, and I'm like watching Matthew Stafford and the way he's talking. I was like, oh, this is for sure a fade. Like, it's like the play call's way too long for this to be a run. Unless it's a kill, but it's like I think it's a fade. And yeah, you see him line up, and it was 13 with 2 tight ends on the opposite side of Devontae, and then the 1 tight end over there, and then that 1 tight end motions to the other side and pulls. So Devontae is alone on his side, and the 3 tight ends on the other side of the line. It's like, yeah, fade all day, dude. You can't tell me I don't know my team. Like, dude, that's a fade for days, dude. So that was pretty fun. But Devontae is a big one. Tuna is a big one. Nate is a big one. Emmanuel is a big one. I think we can say Sean. I think Sean McVay is at a level of coaching this year that we haven't seen yet. I think the way he's adjusting in-game and game to game, the way he's formulating his game plans for these teams seems to be, unbelievable. So, too many guys to say that it's like this guy's got the biggest impact. I think that there's so many people doing so well right now. It's really kind of hard to quantify. But all those names. So everybody, dude. The one guy who's doing the best is all 53 of them. You get it. Number 3 here. If you were invited to an All-Rams player Thanksgiving dinner, what are you bringing and who are you sitting by? All right. I don't get to pull out this joke very often, but 2013, to the function, I was tasked with bringing a dish. This was 2013. I brought my St. Louis Yams. Yes, I'm very proud of that, honestly. But it now would just be my LA Yams. So that's what I would bring. I would do food coloring and stuff like that, like I did. Yeah, actually, kind of worked out perfect when I did them before, because with the marshmallows on top and the brown sugar, it was like gold, and then I did blue food coloring and stuff. I'll see if I can find the picture and put it up for you if I remember, and I usually don't, so I do apologize. But maybe it's on screen right now, so maybe you're welcome. Maybe I'm sorry. Maybe you're welcome. TBD. That's pretty cool. But yeah, it'd be my LA Yams, and I would be sitting next to somebody who I wouldn't annoy. I'd probably annoy them all. Okay, I know exactly who I'm sitting between. Put me between Big Rob Havenstein and Steve Avila, because first of all, me being built like this, sitting between those two dudes, hilarious. And then the fact that, like, don't let this build fool you. I can put some food down. All right. In fact, I regularly get people being like, what? Like, you ate all that? Where? So I would just try to see if I could eat what they eat. Probably not. But I can do some damage, dude. I can do some damage. It says, go Rams, go Joe, go Edwin, dude. Go Ed. Head over to the YouTube channel here. I'm just going to go down the list. This one here, I may actually screenshot and put this one on screen because it's very difficult. We're going to end on that one. That's Peyo's question. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. Let's see here. So we'll end on that one, but we'll just go down the list here. So, also, Akello Witherspoon clarifies that he broke his scapula, not his collarbone. I don't know what that is. Payo time question here. Let's see. One thing I love about this Rams season is seeing players grow and reach their potential. Who are some of the players that you have seen seen the growth from this season from last season? For me, I would say Forbes and Whittington have developed well. Whittington is one I would push back on just a little bit. I would say I'm not sure how much better he's gotten from last year to this year. He was good last year. I feel like he's pretty similar this year. A little bit better, but I mean, I think that's just playing. You know what I mean? I'm better at my job this year than I was last year. So, I mean, you should be, I think. But, yeah, Forbes is certainly on that list, man. Underrated one here. Matthew Stafford? is that a real answer that I can give? Because it feels like the growth from last season to this season. I mean, Matthew Stafford, first of all, I'm trying to petition him to play till 50, the way he's doing it right now, but that's a really solid answer. I would say Byron Young has to be a conversation there. Omar Spates, for sure, seems a little bit more tuned in this year. Cam Curl, for sure. Forbes, your answer is really good. Trying to think on that line. Yeah, I think the lines, they were playing really good last year, so it's a good question. But yeah, I think number one, I'd say Stafford, man. Stafford from this time last year, I mean, he was good. He's always been good. But holy moly, man, this guy is unreal. That Immortal Chamber, dude, I'm telling you, I need one. What do those cost? A couple bucks, I think, huh? This one coming from Paul. Do you think having Tutu back will significantly impact the Rams' offense? I'll push back only on your usage of the word significantly. Do I think it will significantly impact the Rams' offense? No, I do not. I do think that it will have some sort of dent in the workings of the Rams offense, but I don't think it'll change the way that we run anything. So we're in a really good rhythm right now, rocking with a lot of 13 personnel. And that being said, that Tutu is definitely a little bit lower on the depth chart than, like, obviously Devontae, Puka, maybe Jordan. I'm not necessarily sure. But then you also got Mump, who's getting a lot of playing time right now. X, who's been getting offensive reps. He was hurt last week, but he gets reps. So, I mean, ultimately, I don't know if it'll be a dramatic impact, but I do think that we'll notice the return. This one here coming from Porter. I've got a few here from Porter. Let's start there. I'll try to see if these are in order at all. Oh, and also to Jess, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Said, am I too late for fan quesos? No. No, you're not. Anyway, it says, how many 1-yard touchdowns do you think Devontae Adams will get this Sunday? Probably 8, dude. I don't know. And for Pants Picks, going Soul. All right, I'm not alone on Soul. Let's go. We're Soul Sisters now. That's awesome. All right, coming from Porter. Let's see here. Question 1, do you think we can win out the rest of the season? I certainly think that that's a realistic possibility. I would say no, because I also think that the Rams can clinch A, division, or B, 1 seed by the time we get to week 18, in which case, that's where you gotta ask some questions. Do you sit your starters if you clinch the 1 seed, give everybody 2 weeks off? What is this? You know what I mean? That's a long time. And that's technically like 3 weeks between games, which is crazy. So do you do that, or do you kind of just let everybody roll? I would say I do think it's extremely possible for the Rams to win out the rest of the season. I would say for myself, I'm not necessarily worried about winning out for the rest of the season. If we don't, I'm fine. If we do, sick. That's a lot of wins. 15 wins on the year. That's crazy. Something we've never done before. So that would be really cool. But I do think that it's possible we drop one. And if I had to guess, I would say it's either Detroit or Seattle. I do think that we can beat Detroit this time, so I would say that the most likely loss that the Rams have for the rest of the season is in Seattle. We beat them by 2 points. It was a really tough game. It's going to be a cold weather deal. It's Thursday night football, so it's really hard to game plan. That typically favors the defense. The Rams' offense was already struggling, so I do think that is a game that the Rams potentially lose. But we'll wait and see, obviously. But yeah, the Rams are a very, very good football team, and everybody that is in front of us, we've either beaten before or are blatantly better than. So we certainly can. Question 2, what is your favorite play of the season so far? Play of the season. Give me Tutu's 88-yard touchdown catch. That is still the longest play in the NFL this season, so that's rather exciting. Longest scrimmage play from the season so far, which is really cool. So 88 yards, man. To close that game out, win it like we did, I mean, that was just so fun, man. So fun. I would say that one. But let me know yours. Porter, drop yours in the comments below. And then, what is your favorite game so far? That's a harder one. My favorite game so far, probably this Tampa one was fun, man, but it wasn't very close. Saints was a fun one. That one just kind of like solidified of like, all right, yeah, we are really good. Beating the Niners, obviously that's always up there when we can beat San Fran. So that's got to be up there. I don't know. I would say maybe ask me that again once the season's over, because one of these coming up might be it, man. Detroit might be the one. Might be the one. They beat us the last 2 times by a total of 3 points. I feel good about it, man. I feel good about it. Next one here from Porter. How do you feel we don't get stressful games this much this season? I don't know how much I love it, Alec, honestly. I don't mind the stress, man. I think that's kind of why I watch the game. I don't watch the game so that we can blow people out and I could just talk trash to everybody, because I'm also not a big trash talker, you know? It's like my sister's a Bucs fan. I watched the game with a Bucs fan, and at no point was it like, you suck because of this, you know? Like, none of that stuff, so I don't get into that. But I like the stress. I like the games that come down to the very end, the hoping you can pull it off. Even when the Rams lose, those are still really fun. Like, I had an absolute blast watching the Rams and Eagles playoff game last year. Absolute blast. I know we lost. I know that sucks, and I wanted to play more football, but damn it, that game was fun, man. Like, we didn't come out on the good side of it, but it was still a great game and so much fun to watch that whole day. Just because the game ends a particular way doesn't automatically mean I disliked it. I think that kind of speaks for itself. So there you go. Next here from Porter. Is our kicking game fixed or not yet? I love the impatience in this question. So, what are we doing? Is it figured out or not, dude? Hard to say. We still have Cardi on the roster, but Mevis has not missed and did kick a 50-plus yarder. So, jury's still out on what the Rams want to do at the kicking spot. We're not missing kicks, so that's good news. We haven't talked about kicking in the last few weeks, so that's good news. Cardi is still around, so I kind of think that means he's going to get his job back eventually. Yeah. So I don't know. That's kind of hard to answer. I don't know if it's fixed or not yet. I don't know if we have enough sample size from Mevis if it's like if we're good to go. You know what I mean? Last question from Porter. We do have more. Last question. Would you rather be the Jets fan for the rest of your life or beat the Browns fan for the rest of your life? I think you're saying or be the Browns fan for the rest of your life. Jets or Browns, who I would pick. I would go Cleveland if I were picking these teams. Nothing against the Jets or anything like that, but I liked Cleveland when I was out there visiting. I think it's a cool spot. There's something about the Browns franchise I've always kind of respected in a weird way, and I think it's because of just like historical purposes and they like play in cold weather and stuff like that. I don't think it's anything legit, but I've always really liked the AFC North. All the NFC North teams I've been a fan of like from a distance, you know what I mean? Steelers are cool, Bengals are cool, Browns are cool, Ravens are cool. I have no issues with any of those teams, you know. I just really like that division. They all play outside and in cold weather. I think that's probably a big part of it, honestly. Because it's like I hate that like Minnesota plays inside. I know they have for a really long time, but those years where they were playing at the college was awesome. You're getting like really cold weather Minnesota games. Chicago's going to get a dome. That sucks. Green Bay's never going to get a dome, and I love that. Detroit, though, they play in theirs. So, yeah, that I would go Browns, but I don't really have like a legitimate reason why. I liked Cleveland. I liked being in. I stayed in Independence. I could see Kent State from outside my window. That way, past Akron, going our way to Canton and stuff like that. So yeah, I just think it's cool. Or just like pick a random football team. It's like, nah, dude, I don't mess with any of these modern teams, dude. I'm a Canton Bulldogs fan. You know? Yeah, like I'm just gonna rep that forever. Who's gonna stop me, dude? Nobody cares. Let's see here. We'll go to GP Shadow. Your thoughts on OBJ and his desire to come back home? Yeah, I do think he mentioned something about wanting to potentially play back for the Rams. But I don't know. It doesn't seem like the Rams really have any interest in that. So I don't think it happens. I would love OBJ back. I think he's awesome. Bro, OBJ, you know, I think he's really cool. I've always liked OBJ, though. I just like his style, his play style and stuff. I know we tried to, might have been Darren Bates, who we're coaching against this week, that was in a fight with him when he was with the Giants in 13. I think that was Darren Bates. That's so funny. Funny to talk about OBJ now. Let's see here. Probably should hurry up. Yeah, but I just don't think the Rams want to. So, let's see here. We'll go to GP Shadow again. Who is your favorite offensive, defensive, and special teams player so far this season? Special teams is easy, dude. Ethan Evans, man, the strongest player in the NFL. Give me Ethan Evans all day, every day. Offensive player, Matthew Stafford is doing things that should not be able to be done on a football field. There's pros that he's going against, man. Those guys get paid too, and they can't stop him. That's crazy. Defense, this year, Byron Young's been playing out of his mind. I really, really like Jared Verse. Nate Landman is kind of my guy. I say Nate Landman's my guy because I feel like I was the first one to be like, this signing is really good, guys. Like, this is going to be a big deal. And everybody was like, okay. Or just not talking about him at all. Everybody was talking about Tuna and stuff like that. And it was like watching Nate Landman play in Atlanta. It was like, guys, this is exactly what we've needed this whole time. Nobody cares. Like, it was just weird for me. So, yeah, those are your three. Let's see here. We'll hit Peyo's questions now. Simple question. The Rams are getting way more mainstream media coverage than they normally do, I find. Is this strange to you or just me? I would say it's strange to you. I would say it's less strange to me considering since the return of Los Angeles, Rams have been in 2 Super Bowls and maybe because I mean you're also not in the market either, so that's kind of curious. But because me being in Colorado, being in Denver territory, the Denver Broncos territory, I see more Rams coverage than normal, but I'm getting used to it now because we're in LA and a good football team. When we were in the Midwest and sucked, no one ever talked about you. But you're on the coast at SoFi Stadium and also beating the crap out of everybody. That's good stuff. You know what I mean? So, no, I would say I'm not really, I'm not surprised by the amount of coverage that we're getting right now, I would say. We have the MVP front runner. We're the number 1 seed in the NFC. You talk about those teams. Next we're from Payo Time. One thing I love about this Rams season. Oh, yeah, we did that one. Next one here. I'm gonna try to remember to screenshot this one, so it's either on screen or it's not. And I'm either sorry or you're welcome. To be determined. The Rams PR needs your help, Joe. The Rams media match game. Match the coach or player to which show you would want them to be on after a big Rams win. You cannot repeat from the options I give you. Shows: Kay Adams, Pat McAfee, Rich Eisen, Fitz and Wit, First Take, The Herd, Dan Patrick, compete on Jeopardy, and host SNL. And then the players and coaches I have to choose from: Stafford, McVay, Puka, Kobe Durant, Kevin Dotson, Coach Yarbs, Kyron, Adams, and Jared Verse. Love the show. Shout out Payo Time. Appreciate you, man. Let's see here. We're going to start knocking these out. All right, we're going to go down the show list first and then go that way. So Kay Adams, give me Matthew Stafford on Kay Adams, man. I just feel like that's going to be a really good conversation. She does a great job at controlling a interview, and Matthew Stafford and her, I think they would just do well in a conversation. As far as Pat McAfee goes, give me Puka on Pat McAfee. Those personalities, dude, that's going to be a 45-minute YouTube clip, and it's all going to be awesome. It's going to be wildly entertaining the whole time. Rich Eisen. Sean McVay's got to be on Rich Eisen, right? I mean, Rich Eisen, as a Jets fan, he's the biggest Rams fan that a Jets fan's ever been. But he would have really good questions and steer the conversation in a way that makes a lot of sense for Sean McVay. So give me Sean McVay there. Fitz and Wits. This is a good one here, but I want to go with a veteran, so give me Devontae Adams on Fitz and Wit. I just feel like that would be a really good conversation with some older gents to be talking about that one. The Herd. So I like Colin Cowherd. I know a lot of people have opinions. I'm a fan of Colin Cowherd. I like his show a lot. I think he does a really good job. I think it's mainly from my perspective of like being a person who does a show. It's like, oh no, he's nailing it. I don't care what anybody says. But for The Herd, I skipped First Take. For The Herd, give me, I don't even watch First Take. So let's see. I need to reset my camera. Just let me think for 1 second and we'll come back. It'll be like a time wipe. Okay, so for The Herd, I think I want to see. I think because he's so buttoned up, dude, and like so like so like proper in the way that he likes to talk to people, I want to go Jared Verse on the herd just because I think that's wildly entertaining. Wildly entertaining. Give me that all day. First take. I'm going to have to come. That's just going to be my last one. I don't know First Take that well. I don't really understand the vibe of First Take. I believe it's an ESPN show. I don't watch ESPN TV shows. No need to. There's plenty of other good content everywhere else. So that one, I'm just, that's a hard one. So for that herd was Verse. Dan Patrick is such a talented interviewer that he can get something out of everybody. So, like, that would be a fun one. Dan Patrick with Puna Ford would be interesting. I don't have Puna Ford on this list, so obviously we're not going to go there. But for Dan Patrick, I'm going to go with Coach Yarbs, dude. Give me Yarbs on this one, because the way Dan Patrick researches and runs an interview, he's just going to absolutely nail it. He's going to find the questions and the follow-up questions to Coach Yarbs that pull information that we did not know existed. And that's just going to be absolutely awesome. To compete on Jeopardy, I've got Kyron and Kobe. And somebody else, I think. McVay. Wait a second. I have too many people. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I didn't set this up well in my head. Dang it. I forgot who I haven't used yet. Kyron. No, I used Kobe Durant and Kevin Dotson. Okay, I got this. I'll put Kevin Dotson on First Take, and I don't really know why, but also it's just because I don't understand him. I think Carl sees a bug. He's gonna murder. There's gonna be murder off screen right now. Let's see here. For Jeopardy, I've got Kyron and Kobe Durant. So Jeopardy, give me Kyron, dude. He's a smart guy. Not that Kobe Durant's not, but hosting SNL, you put Kobe Durant in a bunch of sketches with those guys. I mean, that's just absolutely incredible. It's been a while since I've watched Saturday Night Live. I mean, I tend to watch like Weekend Update and some sketches here and there, or depending on who the host is. If it's Nate Bargatze, obviously just gonna watch the whole thing, stuff like that. But Kobe Durant and his personality, they would get him to do some real goofy stuff, man. So I think that'd be absolutely awesome. That's certainly my pick there. So there's your answers. I'm not gonna repeat them because, well, I kind of forgot. So I don't know if I could. Thank you for your quesos. Appreciate you guys. We'll make sure we get those again next week as Thanksgiving week. Hopefully yours is awesome. If you're seeing this on Wednesday, hopefully your Thanksgiving is awesome. Will be awesome. If it's on Thanksgiving, hopefully it's going awesome right now. And if you see this after Thursday, well, I hope your Thanksgiving was awesome. All right? Covering all of our bases, dude. But shout out everybody for participating in our fan quesos. Make sure you catch us on Tuna and the Sheriff. That is live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 a.m. LA time on the First Tuna Podcast YouTube channel and Ram Showcase Facebook page. This week on Thanksgiving, it will be on Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving morning, we'll be knocking that show out. So check us out there, as we'll be previewing Rams Panthers. Good stuff. Big old football game going on this weekend as the Rams take on the Panthers. Obviously, a bunch of former Rams out there, a bunch of former Super Bowl champion Rams out there for the Carolina Panthers, fighting for a playoff spot themselves, a division spot. They could be hosting a playoff game come January, which is crazy. I put money on them to win the division before the season started, and I'm just glad that they're doing what I thought that they might do. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. So thanks, guys, for hanging out again. These episodes are going long. I got to figure something out, guys. I might have to figure something out. Or not. I don't know. You guys like hanging out? You guys want to start over? Start over. All right. Welcome to Ram Show. I'm just kidding. All right. That is going to do it for me. I am Sheriff Joe Baggs. This has been Ram Showcase on Sports War Radio and the Fan-Sided Network. For those of you who aren't Rams fans, our thoughts and prayers are with you. For those of you who are Rams fans, thank you so much for watching, and go Rams.